If you want to improve your digestion and your health over the long term, here are 5 foods that you should never combine with eggs. What would you do if you had no knowledge that the eggs you eat in the morning were subtly harming you? Eggs have been a common ingredient in a great number of kitchens for many years. They are a great source of protein, quite simple to make, and versatile enough to be incorporated into virtually any meal. Eggs, on the other hand, are frequently considered to be the good guys on the plate. Nevertheless, if they are combined with the incorrect items, the plate can become something that is significantly more hazardous than you might anticipate. Certain combinations with eggs not only cause digestive distress, but they also have the potential to interfere with the absorption of nutrients, increase the amount of harmful substances that are produced during cooking, and in certain instances, discreetly increase the risk of long-term health problems. In the following video, we are going to discuss 5 things that you should never combine with eggs. This is especially important if you are concerned about your energy levels, digestion, and overall health. It's possible that some of these pairings are already sitting on your plate, while others are habits that you've picked up over the course of time without being aware of the potential dangers. If, however, you were to get an understanding of the science and the tales that lie behind each of these, it has the potential to dramatically alter the way in which you approach one of the most common meals of the day. In this lesson, we will investigate the unexpected chemical reactions that can occur when common chemicals are combined, as well as the effects that these reactions have on your body over time. These are not just dietary fads, they are truths that you should be aware of, ranging from the reduction of protein absorption to the presence of byproducts that are connected to cancer. On top of that, if you are aware of the problem, the solution is straightforward. It is one of the easiest methods to safeguard your health without having to give up the things that you enjoy eating if you are aware of what you should not mix. Please stay with us until the very end, because gaining an understanding of the foods that should be avoided while eggs are present may not only help you improve your digestion, but it may also help you feel better, think more clearly, and gain more vitality as you age. It's time to get started. Soy milk comes in first place, since it is light, plant-based, and packed with nutrients. Soy milk is frequently considered to be a healthier alternative to dairy products. It is the kind of item that a lot of people in their latter years seek for when they are attempting to lower their cholesterol levels or reduce inflammation. Furthermore, when you combine it with eggs, it may even appear to be the ideal healthy meal, consisting of scrambled eggs with a glass of soy milk or a protein shake that is produced with both of these ingredients. However, the majority of individuals are unaware of the fact that soy includes naturally occurring chemicals that are known as trypsin inhibitors. These things prevent your body from completely digesting the protein that is found in eggs, which result in a subtle reduction in the benefits that you believe you are receiving from the meal. Rod, who is 75 years old, began drinking soy milk on a daily basis after his physician suggested that he reduce his consumption of animal fats. After breakfast, he would frequently consume a soy smoothie, which nearly always contained eggs. He would do this frequently, but as time went on, he started experiencing a greater degree of bloating than usual, and he noted that his energy levels dropped in the afternoons. A nutritionist's recommendation that he take a break between eating egg-based meals and soy milk was the catalyst for the shift in his eating habits. His digestion began to improve within a few weeks, and he experienced an increase in his level of alertness throughout the day. However, the problem is in the manner in which your body digests and absorbs protein. Eggs contain a high concentration of complete protein, which is essential for the maintenance of healthy muscles and tissues, particularly as you become older. Trypsin inhibitors, which are included in soy, have the ability to impede the digestive enzymes that your body employs in order to break down that protein. Your system has difficulty digesting the amino acids in their entirety, which results in a slower digestive process, a decreased ability to absorb nutrients, and in some instances, pain in the gastrointestinal tract such as gas or bloating. If this occurs on a regular basis, it may even contribute to the development of minor flaws in the building over the course of time. To maintain its strength, your body requires blocks. Additionally, it is essential to take into consideration that the intensity of this impact is amplified when eggs, milk, and soy are consumed at the same time of day. In commercial soy products that have not been fermented, cooking does not completely remove the inhibitors. This is especially true in foods that have been cooked. The combination of a soy latte and an egg sandwich can still result in the same amount of internal friction. Even if the two types of beverages are not consumed together in the same meal. People rarely make the connection between the symptoms since they are not immediately obvious. To put it simply, they believe that their body is becoming older or that their stomach is not what it used to be. The answer is not difficult to understand. Eggs, milk, and soy are all still delicious. But you can't have them together. It is recommended that you have your eggs later in the day if you enjoy soy in your coffee or smoothie. If you prefer to eat eggs for breakfast, you should reserve the soy for a snack in the afternoon. It is possible for your body to metabolize each of these items more effectively if you give your body a little bit of space between them. This will help you to get the full benefits of what you are eating without falling victim to any hidden negatives. Despite the fact that it is a minor alteration, it has the potential to have a significant influence over time. This is especially true when one considers how important protein absorption is as we get older, as it helps with everything from the preservation of muscles to the functioning of the immune system. Intentionally timing your meals not only makes you feel better, but it also improves your ability to work physically. In addition, the more effectively you are able to perform, the more self-assured and capable you feel in your day-to-day existence. In the second place, sugar and sweets are examples of baked foods. When most people think of eggs and sugar together, the first thing that comes to their minds is comfort food, such as custards, puddings, cakes, and French toast. These dishes are well-known classics that are frequently associated with memories of family meals, weekend breakfasts, or dinners, when eggs are heated. However, there is something that a lot of people don't recognize. They have the potential to become a breeding ground for germs and chemical changes that discreetly transform your treat into something that is less than healthful if they include a significant amount of sugar and are not refrigerated or stored in an improper manner. Especially if the dish is allowed to hang out at room temperature for an extended period of time or if it cools slowly. The combination of sugar and protein provides an atmosphere that is ideal for the growth of microorganisms. The 71-year-old Joan enjoyed baking for her grandchildren. When she needed a sweet bread pudding, she would make it with a lot of sugar and eggs, bake it until it was golden brown, and then let it cool for many hours before serving it. Everyone had a good time. But every once in a while, someone would end up with a stomachache that appeared to come out of nowhere. Joan did not alter her routine until her daughter began reading about egg safety and brought up the risk of storing egg-sugar combinations at room temperature. Not until then did Joan make the necessary adjustments. Since then, she has not experienced any stomach problems because she instantly chills the meal and does not let it to sit out for an extended period of time. The issue arises from the way in which sugar interacts with the proteins that are found in eggs. This mixture, when subjected to heat, has the potential to set off a reaction known as the Maillard reaction, which is responsible for the browning of the flavor. However, it also raises the risk of bacterial contamination if the meal cools too slowly or is not kept cold afterward. If you are using fresh eggs or creating meals in large amounts that are kept heated for extended periods of time, you are at a greater risk of this happening. Custards and desserts that are based on cream are particularly susceptible to this tendency. The issue is not limited to food poisoning alone either. Several studies have demonstrated that the prolonged mixing of sugar and heated proteins can result in the production of advanced glycation end products. These end products are substances that have been associated with inflammation, insulin resistance, and even the aging of cells over the course of multiple years. until they quietly alter how your body absorbs energy, maintains tissue and health, and controls sugar levels. These impacts gradually build up, often without causing any symptoms, and eventually become noticeable. However, this does not necessarily indicate that you should abstain from eating any desserts. That you pay attention to the manner in which you prepare and keep them is required. If you are going to make something sweet with eggs, you should let it cool down, and then put it in the refrigerator. Desserts that include eggs should not be left out for several hours at a gathering. And if you do decide to reheat them, make sure that they reach a temperature that is safe all the way through, not just on the surface. Small actions like these can go a long way toward ensuring that your goodies are both delicious and safe to consume. The act of being attentive of the interaction between sugar and eggs is not about fear. It is about having respect for your body, your health, and the nourishment that you provide for yourself. In addition, by exercising a little bit more caution, you can transform each bite from something that could be dangerous into something that you can actually enjoy without worrying about the consequences. I would appreciate it if you could use the second comment section below to let me know that you are continuing viewing this video and that you are finding these insights to be helpful. I strongly suggest that you subscribe to the channel and activate the bell if you have not already done so. This will ensure that you do not miss any videos. With your assistance, we are able to continue producing high-quality content that will both inform and inspire you. Let's proceed with our plans now. In third place, we have black tea. There are a lot of people who enjoy having a cup of tea with their morning, and there is absolutely nothing objectionable about it in and of itself. On the other hand, when you drink that black tea and you combine it with eggs, you will experience an unanticipated change within your body. Tannin is a chemical that is found in black tea, and it is responsible for contributing to the tea's rich, dark color as well as its slightly bitter flavor. In little levels, tannins are not toxic, but, when they combine with the iron in eggs, they bind together and generate a material that your body is unable to easily absorb or digest. Tannins are associated with negative health effects. This interaction unnoticeably deprives your body of essential nutrients and, over time, can result in digestion that is sluggish, particularly if it becomes a habit that you engage in on a daily basis. Throughout her whole life, Barbara, who was 69 years old, had always begun her mornings with the same routine: a couple of hard-boiled eggs and a mug of strong black tea. She found it to be soothing, almost ritualistic, but she began to experience more fatigue during the day, despite the fact that she had not altered the meals she was eating. After hearing from a friend that particular meals might be preventing the body from absorbing iron, she decided to investigate further. She noticed a significant improvement in her energy levels after she made the move to drinking tea 1 hour after she had finished eating. The modification was uncomplicated, but it resulted in a significant and long-lasting improvement. A respectable quantity of iron can be found in eggs, notably in the yolks of the eggs. This iron is necessary for oxygen transmission in your blood, and it also contributes to the development of your brain and the maintenance of your body's energy levels. Tannins, which are found in black tea, attach themselves to the iron before your body has a chance to absorb it. Instead of being absorbed by your body, the nutrients that you believe you are taking in are being wasted as they move through your system. This can, over time, contribute to poor energy levels, brittle nails, pale skin, and even moderate anemia, particularly in elderly people whose iron levels are already more unstable. Iron is not the only element that is affected by this. Tannins also interfere with the way in which your body processes proteins and particular enzymes, which can cause your stomach to feel bloated or heavy after you have eaten. This is the reason why some people experience an unusually full feeling or a minor discomfort after eating what appears to be a light meal. Eggs and tea are not necessarily the cause of the problem. In addition to the timing of when they are consumed, it is the mix of the two that is important. It is simple to adjust. Just take your tea at a different time and enjoy it. Please, wait 30 to 60 minutes before drinking that cup of black tea if you prefer your eggs to be served first thing in the morning. Alternately, if you want to begin your day with a cup of tea, you might want to think about drinking it first and then waiting a little while before sitting down to eat. Because of this short buffer, your body is able to process each component of your meal more effectively, which ensures that you receive all of the nutrients without any interference. Learning that even the most basic decisions you make, such as the time of day you drink your tea, can have an impact on your general health and well-being can be a really empowering experience. These are hardly profound shifts in behavior. They are ones that are thoughtful. You will be rewarded with energy, comfort, and clarity throughout the day if you include that level of care into your daily routines. This is because your body will be able to experience these benefits. When it comes to aging properly, it's not just about the food you eat. In addition to this, it is important to consider how you combine and time the nutrients that provide you with fuel. The fourth item on the list is processed meats such as bacon and sausage. Eggs sizzling next to a couple slices of bacon or a slice of sausage for breakfast is a traditional combination that the majority of us have been accustomed to eating since we were children. On its alone, the scent has the power to evoke pleasant recollections of quiet meals or sunny weekend mornings. However, when eggs are cooked alongside nitrate-rich foods, this well-liked combo conceals a concern that very few people discuss. Meats that have been processed can produce potentially hazardous chemicals known as nitrosamines. Many studies have been conducted to investigate the possibility that these substances may be linked to an increased risk of cancer, particularly in the digestive tract. And when both meals are fried at high temperatures, such as in a frying pan, the interaction that occurs between them becomes more intense. Every morning, Frank 77 would prepare a big breakfast for himself. During the course of several decades, he believed that frying eggs with bacon or sausage was a method to begin the day that was rich in protein. However, after a regular examination revealed markedly raised inflammation markers and his physician suggested that he make some alterations to his diet, Frank made the decision to conduct additional study. Not only was it not the eggs, but it was not even simply the bacon that he discovered, which was a surprise to him. While they were cooking, it was the chemistry that existed between them. Some adjustments were made by him, such as switching to turkey sausage that did not contain nitrates and baked his eggs rather than frying them. And within a few weeks, he had a sense of lightness, and the results of his laboratory tests demonstrated a significant improvement. It is common practice to add nitrates and nitrites to processed meats in order to maintain their vibrant color and flavor. And while it is generally accepted that they are safe to consume in modest doses, the true cause for concern arises when they interact with the amino acids that are present in eggs as they are being cooked. These molecules are converted into nitrosamines, which are chemical byproducts that are difficult for your body to break down. As a result of extremely high temperatures, it is not enough to say that these chemicals pose a hypothetical risk. According to studies, they may have a connection to colon and stomach cancers, particularly when they are ingested on a consistent basis over an extended period of time. The danger is a silent one, especially for elderly people who have poor digestion or who have consumed processed beef for a significant amount of time. It is not just the meat or the eggs on their own that are the source of the problem, rather, it is the manner in which they are prepared combined. This reaction is more likely to occur if the ingredients are cooked at high temperatures, such as by frying, grilling, or searing. Consuming this combination on a daily basis might gradually lead to health problems that don't manifest themselves until much later in life. Despite the fact that eating breakfast at a diner sometimes won't be harmful to your health. In addition, it is important to point out that the majority of people do not just boil eggs and bacon together. They use the same pan, the same oil, and sometimes even scrape up the brown parts for added flavor, which causes them to concentrate those very components without even realizing where they are doing it. However, this does not imply that you have to give up the breakfast rituals that you enjoy the most. All that is required is to make more intelligent substitutions and to cook in a more gentle manner. Make sure to select foods that do not contain nitrates. Cook at lower temperatures. Or bake your eggs rather than frying them, in order to further protect your body from potentially toxic byproducts. It is recommended that you consume your eggs with vegetables or grains that are high in fiber. When you make these seemingly insignificant choices on a regular basis, they eventually develop a subtle sort of self-defense that helps you maintain your energy, digestion, and overall health over the long run. In addition, maybe the most essential aspect is the realization that you are still in command of the situation. You don't have to give up the foods you enjoy once you reach old age. It involves figuring out how to take pleasure in them in a way that is beneficial to your health rather than one that is detrimental to it. You are making progress toward feeling better in your body, in the choices you make, and in your life with each change that you make. I would appreciate it if you could use the 4th comment section below to let me know that you are continuing viewing this video and that you are finding these insights to be helpful. I strongly suggest that you subscribe to the channel and activate the bell if you have not already done so. This will ensure that you do not miss any videos. With your assistance, we are able to continue producing high-quality content that will both inform and inspire you. Let's proceed with our plans now. The 5th item is processed cheese that is salty. Something about eggs and cheese just has a reassuring effect on one's feeling of comfort. It is a combination that has made its way into kitchens and cafes all over the world. Whether it is a breakfast sandwich topped with a slice of American cheese or a fluffy omelette with melted cheddar cheese. If, on the other hand, you combine eggs with cheese that has been severely processed and contains a large amount of sodium, you may find that your salt intake is significantly more than what your body requires. This is especially true if you consume this kind of meal more frequently. In addition, the presence of an excessive amount of salt can rapidly become a quiet burden on the cardiovascular system, kidneys, and blood pressure of older persons. In the past, Gloria 76 never deviated from her daily breakfast routine, which consisted of 2 scrambled eggs topped with a slice of processed cheese that had been melted. Her doctor voiced concern about her rising blood pressure during her most recent exam, despite the fact that it tasted wonderful and felt quite filling. Since she had not added any table salt, she did not believe that her meals were the source of the problem. However, after giving the labels a closer look, she discovered that the processed cheese slices she had purchased included a greater amount of sodium than she had anticipated. In addition, when she added eggs to it, it caused her to consume more than her daily limit before lunch. She made the transition to a feta cheese with a lower salt content and began adding herbs for taste. Not only did her numbers go up, but she also experienced a reduction in the amount of bloating she felt during the day. It's not just the salt in the cheese that's a cause for concern, it's also the fact that it's so simple to forget about. Due to the fact that eggs contain a naturally low amount of sodium, many people consider them to be a healthy option when processed cheese is melted over them, particularly the sort that comes individually wrapped or in blocks with preservatives. You are introducing a surge of salt, preservatives, and emulsifiers that can subtly impact how your body controls water and pressure. This is especially true for the kind of cheese that comes in blocks or individually wrapped. Moreover, due to the fact that the meal is light, individuals frequently combine it with additional salty sides, such as bread with butter or deli meats, without being aware of the total amount that is being added up. A high salt intake can, over time, contribute to high blood pressure, which in turn raises the risk of cardiovascular events such as heart attacks and strokes, as well as kidney difficulties. The impact is much more significant for elderly people who may already be taking drugs that have an effect on their fluid balance. Although it may not always be obvious in the short term, the impacts that it might have in the long run can be rather severe. In addition, the saltiness of processed cheese can dull your palate over time, which can cause you to need even more sodium in order to feel content because you are craving it. Eggs can be enjoyed in a variety of more satisfying ways. You should experiment with utilizing modest amounts of cheeses that naturally have less sodium, such as fresh mozzarella, Swiss, or ricotta. If you are a cheese lover. Alternately, you can experiment with flavor by using herbs, vegetables, and healthy fats like avocado. The addition of roasted peppers, chives, or sun-dried tomatoes can make a dish more flavorful and satisfying without overwhelming your body with an excessive amount of salt. In spite of this, you are able to enjoy the pleasure of a flavorful meal in a manner that is beneficial to your heart and your energy levels, rather than one that is working against them in a covert manner. At the end of the day, it is not about removing joy from the meals you give yourself. In order to respect both your taste and your health, it is necessary to make some little adjustments. You are deserving of the right to feel good about the food that you consume, not only in the present moment, but also very long after the plate has been cleared. Finally, nerds, I have some thoughts. It is likely that you have come to the conclusion that eggs, in and of themselves, are not the issue. It is the mix of these ingredients with other substances, as well as the manner in which you make them, that might subtly influence your health over time. There are a great many of us who have developed eating routines that are both comfortable and familiar to us. For a family get-together, a sweet egg-based dessert, a side of bacon, and a little cheese on your eggs are all delicious options. At first glance, none of these options appear to be associated with any kind of risk. Nevertheless, upon deeper inspection, the scientific evidence presents a different situation. It is not enough for certain foods to lose their nutritious content when they are combined with eggs. They might cause long-term impacts that gradually erode your energy levels, digestion, or overall well-being without causing any noticeable changes. What did you find to be the most noteworthy today? Maybe the black tea was preventing the body from absorbing iron. Or maybe the soy milk was preventing the body from absorbing protein. You might be re-evaluating the frequency with which you fry eggs with processed meat. Or you might be curious about the amount of sodium that manages to make its way into your breakfast through that slice of cheese. Your reaction is irrelevant. What matters is that you now have more information than you did before. This is the most important thing. In addition, you woofs, you have power since you have this information. You have the ability to make better decisions, to feel more secure about what you are eating, and to enjoy your meals without having to worry about whether or not they are inadvertently detrimental to your health. In this case, we are not going to eliminate anything. Adapting, learning, and maintaining a sense of curiosity are all important. Do not give up your favorite foods just because you are getting older. It entails having an awareness of how your body reacts to things at the present moment, as well as how even minor adjustments can safeguard your health over the long term. You have spent your entire life accumulating knowledge. Putting it into practice on your plate, one meal at a time, is the time to do so now. These are the kinds of decisions that will help you become a more powerful and healthier version of yourself. If it means spacing out your tea, switching your cheese, or baking instead of frying, then those are these kinds of choices. We appreciate you being here with us today. It would be wonderful if you could get in touch with us. In the comments section below, please share one thing that you have learned today and how you intend to put it to use in your life. Happy learning. We place a high value on your opinions, so please do not be reluctant to share them with us. Our inspiration and encouragement are greatly increased as a result of reading your remarks. I would appreciate it if you would like, subscribe, and share this video if you found it to be informative and enjoyable. With your assistance, we are able to continue producing high-quality content that will both inform and inspire you. We appreciate you taking the time to watch, and we hope to see you in the future video.